And hey, party people. I'm not sure where I got that phrase from. I think it's from my first lady at church. But anyway, good day, everyone. Welcome again to the Tried and Tested podcast. I am your host, Tracy. And for those of you who are sticking with me, this is season number, I think, 6. It's been a while since I have posted anything. And so I'm just trying to give you guys some content while I figure out what it is I'm going to be doing. I will be having guests this season because I'm like, I don't think I could talk for 20 minutes straight, but we will see. We will see. We will see. Because I normally send my friends a whole bunch of audio messages about dating and relationships. And so, yeah, I think this season I definitely want to get um more I don't want to say like deeper, but just like deeper and realer when it comes to conversations regarding marriage. Um and the thoughts on it. So today, I saw a testimony happen live and direct. A lady got married. Her name is Sophia Ruffin, and she used to be a lesbian. So to just see how like her story has changed, and just how beautiful she looked, how feminist she looked, how good her husband and her looked together. It was just like a really heartwarming, touching, time, for me to experience and to watch. And I just, it got me thinking, as it always does, whenever I see anything in regards to marriage, engagements, couples that are in love, couples that have been together for a long time, it's something that I truly, truly, truly love to see. It's something that I truly, truly, truly desire. And sometimes, depending on what kind of day I'm having, it allows me, or yeah, it allows me to kind of start thinking about other things, right? So, one of the things, first and foremost, is that obviously I am in my mid 30s now. Surprise, surprise, because I know I look 16, but it's all good. Um, and I guess like when I see these couples, like I said, they're so beautiful. I think that one thing it makes me wonder is like, I know I'm getting married, right? But then it's like, do you really know? Like, I don't know. And so I guess to break that down is like, so when I look at my love for relationships and dating and marriage, and then I look at my track record of, and I'm gonna explain to y'all where this whole thing came from. I look at like my track record of dating and relationships, and encounters with other, men, and I'm like, man, I know that I have a very, I would say, positive outlook most of the time. That, I and everyone else that I know is going to find their spouse, etc., etc. But it got me thinking about, if you have only negative, experiences, or experiences that don't really pan out to be any and everything, it's kind of like when it actually happens, like, what is it going to be like? I don't know if people think that, but I do. Like, I really wonder, like, how is it going to be? Like, is it going to be beautiful? Am I going to be able to accept it? Because I realized that one thing that would happen, like, let's say I was just, getting to know a guy, or even if I ended up dating somebody, right? What would happen, and I noticed this, is like, we'll be talking, and perhaps subconsciously I would feel like it was going to mess up. So when it didn't, and things started going well, and they started going well, I don't want to say quickly, but I think that when you are doing something constantly or consistently, whether it's every day, every other day, whatever it may be, it's kind of like, I think that in my mind, I'm looking for like a red flag, or maybe like a just pump your brakes thing. So when it starts to kind of just continue to go on, I'm like, oh my God, like I feel uncomfortable. I feel like overwhelmed, and I feel a little bit suffocated. Like, why can't this guy calm down? Like, why can't he slow down? So I'm gonna get back to that. But so the reason why I thought about this though was I had watched a podcast the other day, and it's hosted by a man, and he basically was giving his story about a relationship that he had recently that led to a heartbreak for him, and it must have really led to like well, I guess heartbreaks are all severe. But because he was crying on the podcast, and I was just like, okay, like, wow. So basically, he met a female. I think that they were dating for like 2 months, and he really felt like he had found the one. He felt like she was an answered prayer from God, and that they were going to make this work, and eventually that would be his wife. And I guess basically for the woman, she was saying that she was not prepared for this. And I believe that what she meant was that, when you meet certain people, most guys that you meet, it doesn't it doesn't pan out to be anything, right? And so I guess because it was working, and he was ready, like he was all in, she was like, I need to work on myself. And when I first heard that, I'm like, is she dumb? Like, what's wrong with her? What kind of mess? Like, women are out here looking for men that they want to be with all the time. They're looking for good men. And now you're saying that you don't want to be with this man because he's so good, right? And so I'm just like, and this man is sitting here. I mean, he is crushed. Okay, he's sad. He's looking like all types of whatever. He was crying at one point, and then I mean he started singing, and I was just like, like what is going on? And I had never experienced a man that had been heartbroken and actually seen him kind of like talk about it. So I commend him for that, I guess, but it's just like it was really interesting. So I'm getting somewhere with this. So then like I kept thinking like, I don't understand. Like you have this good guy, and you know the relationship is going well. It may be going quick. And I guess I think that with men, in my opinion, I feel like when men know they want somebody or something, then they know. And so for them, it's not really any breaks in between. It's like, okay, I found the one, and so I'm going all in, as opposed to the men who are out here wasting females' times, playing games, going in circles, getting missing, etc., etc. So when I thought about her, I was like, you know what? Like, I wonder if a lot of us can be like her, right? Where, we have been expecting and looking for a man for, some of us maybe 2 months, 6 months, 2 years. I know people who've been single for over 10 years. Mercy for real. But if it works, it works. So people have been single for all this time. And then it's like when you find someone, because you're not working on yourself in your singlehood, when you get that person, you're now like, oh, wow. And so you start to see the red flags within yourself, which now, causes issues in the relationship. And I just feel like, I'm just like, wow. So yeah, I guess I was talking about marriage. And so all that to say, I'm like, like I said, I'm excited, and I'm just thinking like, but I really did have to ask myself that, like, despite the fact that I believed I would have been married like 10 years ago, I really thought I was going to be married a long time ago. I always wonder, like, man, when I'm presented with the opportunity, when the man appears, when the man shows up, like, what would I do? Like, if it was the right man, because I mean, I feel like, I mean, at least for me, I'm used to meeting someone, and even if we get along great and things are good, it's like then the person will, oh no, I don't like you like that, or or like whatever, or they just start acting funny or whatever it may be. I feel like there's a lot of reasons why, males and females don't really, get along great or whatever. But yeah, like I said, I just was thinking a lot about marriage, and I'm like, man, like you really have to be with this person for the rest of your life. And I'm just like, but I think that at least for me, the disconnect is that if you're so used to relationships that can kind of begin and then they don't end, like, I mean, or they do end, what would you do, or what do you do when it actually is the right one? Like, I feel like that could give you a little bit of like, not anxiety, but it can really just kind of, I don't know, it can be a little bit overwhelming, I think, but who knows. So that was just like my little spiel, my little thought. When it comes to like, getting married and the excitement and stuff with it, I'm just like, man, because as of now, I have spent most of my life not married because I'm not married now. But yeah. So what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on marriage? What are your thoughts on failed relationships and how you're actually preparing to do things differently. Like, if they failed in the past and the right one comes along, like, do you feel like you've been working on yourself throughout all this time that you have been single, no matter how long or how short? Or do you feel like you're going to work on yourself with this man? And just to, like, I guess not even, I don't know what the word I'm trying to use is, but it's just like, because now we're faced with the idea that we're not perfect, and then you find someone that you just really really like, and it's like, I think that you probably would want to hide your imperfections, right? And it's like, we can't do that. But I think that it's like, I want to work on myself more, but I actually think that, like, I wouldn't be able to do that until I know what exactly is wrong, right? Because I think that when it comes to relationships, depending on who you're dealing with, is when you kind of know certain issues that you have, right? So let's say you have somebody, if you're really, really clean and you meet someone that's really, really messy, you can probably kind of figure out what your character really is when they annoy you to that degree. Or if you meet somebody and they spend money like crazy and you like to save money. So, like, things where, your reactions to people who are the opposite of you. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. Once again, this is Tried and Tested Podcast. You guys can reach me on Instagram at the official Tracy Sarpong, or you can email me at tracysarpong@gmail.com. I'm so excited to have you guys here with me for season 6, and stay tuned.